Oh, they haven't scored another, have they? Oh my God, what a night this is.
They have, I think.
Oh, wow. Listen, this has been a brilliant game, and you know what? When you describe a team who've lost 5-2, probably one of the best performances I've seen from a team who've lost 5-2 in a game. They were well in this game, and they've only got themselves to blame. It started with a goalkeeper mistake that gave PSG the chance to go 3-2 up, and there's no way PSG were 5-2 better than Chelsea in this game. An absolute travesty for Chelsea in that second half, and he'll be furious, the manager.
It's a good night for Carragher, Thierry.
Sorry?
It's a good night for Carragher.
Yes, yes, and I love what he did also before on the goal of Vitinha. He could have tried to have a go, and he passed it, and we all know Vitinha finished it, but we all know the quality that he has. It didn't work out for him recently, but they asked him to do a job. He wasn't sulking, he went on the bench, and this is the reaction you want. Go on the field and make the difference. He did.
An English team has not won over the last 2 days. Do you know that?
I'm fully aware.
Yes, we do. 4 defeats and 2 draws over the 2 days for English teams.
Wow.
Conceded 16 goals, by the way. That's Liverpool losing to Galatasaray, Tottenham losing to Atleti, Chelsea losing to PSG, City losing to Real Madrid, and then Newcastle drawing with Barcelona, Arsenal drawing with Leverkusen. That is full-time now in Paris, so 5-2 the final score in that one. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Good to have you still with us. Peter Schmeichel was over in Paris tonight to watch PSG beat Chelsea 5-2, and he has spoken to your guy, Micah Kvaratskhelia. Here we go.
Well, first of all you need is 30 minutes to become man of the match. 30 minutes. You don't have to play 90 minutes anymore. But you looked, because the TV cameras actually cut to you a couple of times, you looked very disappointed that you weren't starting this game. And then you came on, became man of the match. How was that?
Yeah, of course. I think there is no football player that wants to start on the bench. So, but we know that we have very good players in the attack. So, I respect what coach decides. I will concentrated. For me, it doesn't matter. It will be 10 or 90 minutes. I want to give my 100%. So I did today, and I think it's not only my performance, it was team performance very good, and we won against Chelsea with 3 more goals, so it's important we have next game, and we just have to be focused because it's nothing finished.
It is, in many ways, it's an unbelievable result, or the scoreline 5-2, because a long time into the game, it never looked like a 5-2 game. It actually looked like it's going to stay 2-2, and that would have been a fair result. But you now got this cushion.
Yeah. I think the great thing for me it was that even it was 4-2, we wanted to score more goal, and we were in the last section. We did great job. All the players we made very good counter-attack. So. I think this is the main reason for PSG that we want to continue, and we will try to do everything for this Champions League and for the League One.
And you come in a year ago, and literally not this time, but a little bit earlier, and that's when PSG started to take off. Do you see similarities to last season and now?
Yeah, of course. I think in the last year, also in the start, it was difficult, but after the team handled it, so I think, I hope it will be the same in this year, but of course we have to focus with our game, and we just have to try everything with what we can.
Yeah. Well, wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
Good. Always good to hear from Peter over there in Paris. We'll hopefully hear from him again before the night is out. Your thoughts, Thierry, because obviously, like Jamie was saying, Chelsea were very much in that game for a large period of that game until it ran away from them at the very end. What was the issue for Chelsea tonight?
The quality of both players finishing, they made a mistake, but we called it out. That's how they play. They play out from the back. They will overplay. They will try to play. But like I said, that's how he likes to play, Rossegna. So there's no point to try to argue, kick it out or not kick it out. That's what they will do. And that plays into the hand of Paris Saint-Germain. We all know that's what they try to do and put pressure. So at one point, when you have a guy like Kvaratskhelia that can come off the bench and play Dembele and then switch it and then Doué and then Barcola and then... I said at the beginning of the game, if he clicks and they get upset, you're in trouble against Paris Saint-Germain. The only thing is, at the moment, there is a lack of consistency with that team. But what I love about this team, I would have to say, and Kvaratskhelia just said it, you can be upset. You have the right to be upset when you go on the bench. But don't go on the field upset, I should have started, type of thing. And when he came on, you could see he was upset. But then he backed it up with scoring 2 goals and giving an assist, which that's the attitude you need to have. But yes, Chelsea will die like that. They try to play. That's the philosophy of the coach, whether you like it or not, but you have to respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in football, the reason we're saying Chelsea played well was one of the reasons the goalkeeper was involved. Thierry's analysis before the game is brilliant. You know, they use the goalkeeper, and that's why they keep the ball so well, because they've got an extra man. So they do that in the first half and throughout a lot of the game. But I do think if you do the same thing all the time, people know what you're going to do, basically. And I'm a big believer in game management, or game state, I should say. You're wearing Paris Saint-Germain. The game's tight. It's 2-2. I'm not saying that you kick everything long, but he's trying, I think, with his left foot, his weak foot, to pass a ball into midfield to a player who's marked. It doesn't actually get there. It gets cut out by the guy who's closing them down. But I just think in certain situations, knowing where you are, Paris Saint-Germain, away from home, are we happy with a 2-2? Yeah. Do we need to take the risk of playing that ball? Can it go along that one, or can it go wide? I've said before, I've analysed Rosenior's Chelsea, that they I shouldn't use the word obsession. It's how he likes to go about it. They go through the middle first, then they go wide. The goalkeeper should not be trying to play a ball through the centre of the pitch there in that situation when the game stays at 2-2 away from home in the Champions League.
Anything to add, Micah?
Well, we've got about 20 seconds before we've got to go, so...
Have we?
Yeah, I can hear someone counting down.
You can fit something in there.
We're going to another channel, right?
Yeah, to another channel, but yeah. PSG have got players
what channel
who
it
can
is?
hurt you.
Yes, I do.
It's
Where are we going?
No, can you not hear it now?
I've got it now. I didn't have it then 15 seconds. But go on, you can get something in. About 5 seconds.
PSG took the moment.
I wanted to add something
to
Jamie, actually, because if you look at it, it's true what he says. You need to understand what's happening in the game and the moment of the game. But we saw Tottenham getting done like that. We saw Thibaut Courtois with Petard nearly done like that. We've seen a lot of teams getting done by trying to play from last night to tonight. So teams that were ahead, teams that were behind. Why do you think that is, that they all do it?
It's the way that the modern game has gone. You need a goalkeeper who plays. That's what we see from the teams at the top level. But the one last night from the Tottenham goalkeeper. But the frustration I have a little bit with goalkeepers is that, as we've seen tonight with Jorgensen, when you're on your weak foot, or maybe you've been given a bad pass, or the game state, it's decision making. And I think this happens a lot with players, but a lot with goalkeepers, where there's an instruction maybe from the coach, and because the coaches give you an instruction about what he wants, that does not mean that you then have to do that consistently through the game. You're the one on the pitch. You see a different picture than the coach does on the side of the pitch. So you've still got to make decisions with, the idea in mind. Of course, you can't go totally against your coach, but there's certain situations, and last night was a perfect example with the Spurs goalkeeper, where he's made a mistake. We've all been in football where you make a mistake. The next thing you do with that ball, it might be a different decision that you would normally make because of that reason. You might be a little bit more nervous. It's on his left foot. So for me, it comes down to this decision-making as well, but it is what we expect now from goalkeepers, isn't it?
Liam, really, really tough night for you. And on a night, actually, where I thought you had it so much under control for a very large game, a part of the game. So what's your assessment here?
I think it's really difficult to speak about the first 75 minutes because of the end result. For up to that point, I thought we were well within the game. We were very, very good in our press, in our chance creation, and then we make a mistake. And from that, even at 3-2 against this team, you're still in a tie. We get punished with it's a fantastic goal, the fourth goal. It's a world-class strike. But even at 4-2, we're still in the tie. The disappointing moment for me is the fifth goal, because it comes from a flashpoint. We don't regather ourselves. We don't stay calm in the moment. And we get punished by a really, really good team. But it's really disappointing, Peter, because it wasn't a 5-2 game. No, it was not. And that's where we have to look, and we have to make sure in the big moments, we have to be better in those moments.
Well, you say 4-2, you're still in the game. But the fifth goal,
it's a killer.
Does it take you out?
Feels like a killer. No, we're not out. We're not out.
What have you said to your players after the game?
challenged them. I've challenged us to respond well to the setback of tonight. Again, we've got another game in 2 days against Newcastle and another game 2 days after that against PSG. But we need to make sure that we learn very quickly. It's a painful lesson tonight because there is so much good in it, but there's no use talking about that when you've lost the game 5-2.